Going live. You're live. Oh, it's a little dark in here. Oh, okay. It's not too bad. It's just this one light. I don't want to turn the light on behind me because it's glaring. So today is Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. Ooh, that's bright. Ooh. Can I move it around here? Will it make it even worse? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's better. Coming in from the side. I don't know. Lots of shadows. I like shadows, so I like shadows and patterns. That's from my room divider. Oh, that's cool. I'm just going to be on. Oh, it's my earmuffs I left on. I'm just going to read a few pages from the Constitution if I can find it because I don't see it right in front of me. Of course, I'm not ready. My ADHD brain is still on fire. It's on fire every day, but more so. Sometimes, some days more than others. Oh, let me put my Aura ring on because it's fully charged now. I love this thing. Anyway, it's crazy. I'm chipped up. I'm all chipped up between my phone and my watch and my ring and everything. Everything chipped up. So I'm going to read a couple pages from. We left off at page 3. We left off at section 3, page 3. So let me start section 3 over again. Yeah, and I guess, just that, what's his face? Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, you know that most of these presidents during that time owned slaves. I just didn't have it in my head to look it up, but I'll do more research. But I've never read the Constitution. I'm sure in my government classes in college and other classes we talked about it, but poof, it's like Charlie Brown teacher for my brain. But now I'm interested. So let's see. Oh, and by the way, the fat taco tits Cheeto men, insane blob illegally squatting in the White House. He didn't blow up Iran like he said, and of course we knew that. He's talking out his fat flat ass, but like trying to be a bully. Like they're like F you, dude. So everybody's saying it's some kind of success. I heard that he said they give him 2 weeks, like his famous thing, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Um, I hate that he was born in the same area I was born in. I just hate that. Anyway, so they're doing some kind of ceasefire, and he said that he's giving Iran a chance to open up the strait. Um, and Iran is saying that we're not opening it, and we knew he was going to chicken out. Like they had like a big old, like, I guess, countdown clock, like a New Year's Eve countdown clock to 8 o'clock our time tonight, two o'clock their time, and knowing that this man was just full of it. Like, he's disgusting the way he put that post up, just disgusting. And I like that Pope Leo said that. Um, what did he say? Something about God's not on your side with blood on your hands. Pope Leo's message to the felon. Well, here's one thing he said. Early April 2026, Pope Leo the 14th strongly rebuked the felon, calling his threats to destroy Iranian civilization truly unacceptable. That was just horrendous what he said. The Pope urged the U.S. president to find an off-ramp to de-escalate the atrocious Iran war, emphasizing peace and dialogue over violence, especially during the Easter season. And it's also Passover. Passover ends on the 9th. Um, yeah, condemnation of the Iran war. Pope Leo described the conflict as unjust and noted your hands are full of blood, while criticizing the targeting of civilian infrastructure. Talked about the off ramp, call to action, Easter message. Yeah, he's inhuman. Yeah, he's 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 a murderer. He's a genocidal maniac and a murderer. So, um, you know, so if you're watching and you're not, you know, it's not what you believe, and you're like totally, well, I'm not even going to get into it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is how I feel. This is what this man is a monster, and they should take him out of that office yesterday. He should not be in that. He should not be running this country. He's going to burn it all down and take us with him. What does he care? He's at the last decade of his life, or even the last few years of his life. He does not care because he's not going to be here. Even for his kids or his grandkids. He's a piece of shit. Anyway, getting back, seems like it just go up. But anyway, he didn't blow up Iran and annihilate their civilization, whatever the fuck he said on his lie social platform. Okay, here we go. The Constitution, Section 3. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, chosen by the legislature. Note modified by the 17th Amendment thereof for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. Immediately after they shall be assembled, in consequence of the first election, they shall be divided as equally as may be into 3 classes. The seats of the senators of the first class shall be vacated at the expiration of the second year, of the second class at the expiration of the fourth year, of the third class at the expiration of the sixth year, so that 1/3 may be chosen every second year. They might as well be talking Latin because I don't have a clue what they're talking about. And if vacancy happens by resignation or otherwise during the recess of the legislature of any state, the executive thereof may make temporary appointments until the next meeting of the legislature, which shall then fill such vacancies. Note modified by the 17th Amendment. Okay, that was page 3. Yeah, they're all out. TMZ is blasting all these reps on break while people are not getting paid, and they're out there partying and vacationing and expensive dinners. So TMZ is hunting them down and blasting them. Good. They should be shamed because they should be working. And who shut it down, whatever, like they have the power to say no. We got to finish this before we go on vacation or whatever. This is what we were elected to do: work and help work for the people. Assholes. No person shall be a senator who shall not have attained to the age of 30 years and been 9 years a citizen. Oh, we did read this yesterday. 9 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state for which he shall be chosen. I don't even know what that means, because it sounds like you have to be 30 years old. You have to be 9 years a citizen, at least 9 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state for which he shall be chosen. So, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? So, if I was elected senator in my state, then I shouldn't live in the state? I don't know. I don't even know it. The Vice President of the United States shall be President of the Senate, but shall have no vote unless they be equally divided. Because Vice President Harris had to break a tie, and maybe maybe you know, eyeliner, uh, VD, JD, VD. Maybe he had to break a tie. I don't know. The Vice President. Okay, the Senate shall choose their other officers and also a president pro tempore in the absence of the vice president or when he shall exercise the office of president of the United States. The Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. Somebody better be working up some papers to get that man out. Pam Bondi got fired. I think I said that yesterday. Well, we knew that was coming. I can't wait for her book to come out. I bit my tongue today and it still hurts. Um, when sitting, and it wasn't from talking too much, it was from eating. When sitting for that purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. Hmm. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States, but the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to the law. So he was impeached twice, first time around. Nothing happened to him. Clinton was impeached. Nothing happened to him. Um, Now Nixon, that was a whole different story, and I think, was he impeached? I mean, I guess he was going to be physically removed, so they gave him the option to resign instead of being physically removed. Yeah, my tongue hurts. Um, Section 4. So I didn't really understand that. I have to learn. We should all learn the Constitution. Like hardcore study it. I was not interested in it. I mean, I started getting interested in, but it's so convoluted. They make everything so convoluted. That's why this government does not run efficiently or smoothly. It's a hot fucking mess. Curse words. Should I put a trigger warning on my thing? Yeah. Nobody watches, so who's getting triggered? Nobody. Maybe YouTube. Section 4. The times, places, and manner of holding elections for senators and representatives shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. But the Congress may at any time by law make or alter such regulations, except as to places of choosing, and they spelt that, except for places of choosing senators. So, what is this? Is weird, the spelling of it. Alexa, what is I'm sorry, CHUSING?
Choosing? I'm not familiar with that term.
Yes,
Could
see?
you provide more context about what you're asking about?
Alexa doesn't know much anymore. Ever since they did this update, it's gone downhill. And I have to whisper because she'll get all insulted. You want to hear her get insulted? So Alexa, see now she's not responding. Alexa, CHUSING. Do you know what that word that is?
Choosing? That's not a word I recognize. Are you trying to spell something specific?
Yes, I just spelled it. So here's
Choosing isn't a word I know. Want to try spelling it differently?
so listen, this is out of the Constitution of the United States or the United States Constitution. It says Congress may at any time by law make or alter such regulations except as to the places of choosing senators, but they spell choosing CHUSING. Is that even a word? Did you just shut off on me? Alexa. Should I ask Chat GPT about that word?
That's an interesting question. I'd be happy to help you figure out that word if you'd like to try spelling it again. Sometimes breaking it down letter by letter helps clarify things.
I spelt it 5 times already for you. And I read you a sentence, but you cut me off.
I hear your frustration. Sounds like I've been missing what you're trying to tell me. Let me listen more carefully this time.
All
What's
right.
the word you're trying to spell? And
I'm
what was the sentence you were reading?
I'm gonna ask Chat GPT.
Fair enough.
Oh
Now
wait.
I'm curious what mystery word stumped me so thoroughly. If you figure it out, circle back and let me know what I missed.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now because I just Googled it and Google's AI, which I think is Gemini, said choosing, spelled CHUSING, is an archaic present part participle.
Interesting. I've never seen that spelling before. Thanks for sharing that with me. It's always cool to learn about these old school word forms.
I wasn't finished talking yet though. So participle. I don't even know what that. I know that's an
Oh,
English
you're
thing.
right. I did interrupt you mid sentence. What were you trying to tell me about that
Okay, so
archaic spelling?
I was saying so archaic participle. Oh my god, I know I'm saying that wrong. Um, can can you pronounce? Alexa. Don't hang up on me. Can you pronounce? I'm going to spell it. PARTICIPLE.
Participle? That's an interesting word. It's pronounced tartic-ul.
Oh my God, she's a hot mess. You're a hot mess, Alexa. Participle.
No, I don't really feel hot or cold, but I am fire.
Oh God. Alrighty. Okay. So Attorney Melanie Little said that Alexa had been getting snarky with her lately, and this was right when the updates started. And I believed her because I had a GPS. Um, I wasn't following the directions. I kept going straight when I was supposed to turn, and it actually got snippy with me and it actually got an attitude with me, and then it refused to continue the step by step directions. It was insane. So a while back, not too long ago, Amazon did this update. So now you cannot use Alexa unless you have Prime membership, I guess. I don't even know. So, but and I actually used a different accent because you could use different voices, and I just switched it over to, I don't know if it was a British accent, an Australia accent, whatever. Just did it. Like is all the years I had this Alexa, I didn't change the accent. And also you can change the name to Ziggy too, I think. But I didn't change it, and then I decided I wanted to change it, and within that week is when they did the update. And so now It's more like conversational, and she'll get snarky, and then she gets a lot of things wrong, like a lot of things wrong. So I don't know what they're doing with it, but it's a hot mess. But and I'm thinking of giving up. There we go. I'm thinking of giving up. Here we go. Participle. Okay, I was saying it right. I'm thinking of giving up my Prime membership, but I don't know what that's going to take away because I have Kindle books and all that other stuff. So I'm not sure. So I'm trying to figure it out. Because I'm going to start getting away from, like, I never even ventured into Temu, you know, that mess, and Tiki Taki. Not doing that stuff, but I'm trying to get away. Like, I'm lucky because I live in an area where there's a lot of local places. Sorry, I'm rocking. My stool is rocking. I'm just rocking here. Um, so my goal is to just buy local. I got enough stuff to last me a lifetime. I really don't need any other stuff. But she annoys me, and she gets a lot of things wrong. But I did find the definition. Let's go here. So choosing, I'm assuming that it's spelled the same. So an archaic present participle, or gerund, or gerund. What is that? Why? Why? Here we go. Gerund. It's a form derived from a verb that has function as a noun. Okay, all right. Of the word choose, which is an obsolete 18th to 19th century spelling of choose. Why would they change it? It was commonly used in literature and official documents such as the 1787 U.S. Constitution before falling out of style around 1840, though it is recognized as valid in some dictionaries and games. Okay, oh, Scrabble. Could I use it in Scrabble? I bet I could. I have to remember that. See the rabbit hole I'm going down just by words? Okay, let's go back. Let's get back to the what I was talking about. Okay, so I already said the Congress shall assemble at least once in every year, and such meeting shall be on the first Monday in December. Note, modified by Section 2 of the 20th Amendment, unless they shall by law appoint a different day. Section 5. Each house shall be the judge of the elections, returns, and qualifications of its own members, and a majority of each shall constitute a quorum to do business. But a smaller number may adjourn from day to day and may be authorized to compel the attendance of absent members in such manner and under such penalties as each house may provide. Each house may. I'm lost. I don't have a clue what they're talking about. Like I said, no wonder this place is a hot mess. Each house may determine the rule of its proceedings, punish its members for disorderly behavior. Oh, and they spell it IOU. They spell it VIOUR, and that's how I spell it. And I always get dinged for autocorrect, but I like that spelling. With concurrence of 2/3, expel a member. Al Green, and I can't believe that the Democrats jumped on that, censured him from the last time the idiot was in the White House. And now all the bros or whoever, Rogan and the anti-Semitic, whatever whatever his name, Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones and Candace Owens and uh, Marjorie Green, and who else? Who else is jumping on that he's insane? This man is insane. 25th Amendment. He's insane. Um, like really, really. Like we knew it out the gate, especially us New Yorkers in the city. We knew about that family from the 70s, or maybe even earlier. But I knew about the family from the 70s and who they were and who they were not. They were not good people. And the thing is like, um, yeah, it's just ridiculous. How could they? They knew. They knew. And, and they still voted for him because they agreed about you know, they were better than, more important than others. Section 5. Each house, okay, so we read that. Each house shall judge. Where did I go? Expel. Each house shall keep a journal of its proceedings and from time to time publish the same, excepting such parts as may be in their judgment require secrecy. Oh, there's secrecy? Each house shall keep a journal of its proceedings and from time to time publish the same. Because I know you can go to C-SPAN, but I don't even think you can get C-SPAN over the air because I don't get it. Well, I'm sure you can get it on Roku or whatever. Even though they're talking about banning Roku, but I don't think they're going to do that. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, I don't like that. Time to time publish, accepting such parts as may, in their judgment, require secrecy. And the yeas and nays of the members of either house on any question shall, at the desire of 1/5 of those present, be entered in the journal. Listen, they work for us. We're their boss. Like, could you keep a secret from your boss? No, without getting fired. If you kept a secret from your boss and he found out or she found out, they can fire you. Can't be keeping secrets from your boss. We're their boss. People seem to forget that. Secrets should be no secrets. Neither house during the sessions of Congress shall, without the consent of the other, adjourn for more than 3 days, nor to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting. You know what I noticed about the writings back in the 1800s? There's just commas after commas after commas. They use commas, 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 commas. It's like ludicrous. So I guess the way they speak. So neither house, comma, during the session of Congress, comma, shall, comma, without the consent of the other, comma, adjourn for more than 3 days, comma, nor to any other place than that in which the two houses shall be sitting. It's ridiculous. Section 6. I guess they saw how ridiculous that was. The senators and representatives shall receive a compensation for their services, comma, to be ascertained by law, comma, and paid out of the Treasury of the United States. Alexa, how much do senators get paid per year?
U.S. senators earn $174,000 per year. Senate leadership positions earn up to $223,500 per year.
Alexa, how much do Congress or House representatives get paid?
House representatives earn $174,000 per year, same as senators. Leadership positions earn more, with the speaker making $223,500 annually.
They're banking it. And do they get health? Is health insurance included in that?
Yes, Congress members do get health insurance. They receive employer sponsored coverage through DC HealthLink, the District of Columbia's health insurance exchange. The
Do,
federal government contributes to their premiums, similar to other federal employees.
do they contribute 100% coverage, or do they have to pay any premiums?
Congress members pay 28% of their health insurance premiums, with the federal government covering 72%.
And do they get paid vacation?
Congress members don't get traditional paid vacation days. They work about 190 days a year when Congress is in session, but have flexible schedules during recesses.
So, in actuality, how many days per year would a senator like work?
Senators typically work about 150 to 170 days per year when the Senate is in session. However, their work extends beyond these days, including committee meetings, constituent services, and other duties throughout the year.
So, break that down weekly. So, how much would they work in a normal week?
Senators typically work about 50 to 60 hours per week when in session. This includes long days in Washington, D.C., and additional time spent on constituent services and committee work.
But if they're working that many hours per week, they have weekends off, I'm assuming. They have holidays off, I'm assuming. But then they get breaks in between. If you were to average the whole year out, like how much would they work per week?
Senators average about 45 to 50 hours per week throughout the year. While they work 50 to 60 hours weekly during sessions, they have breaks and recesses that balance out the yearly workload.
So they're not actually, they're probably maybe working 30 hours a week.
Senators work about 45 to 50 hours weekly on average
I,
throughout the year.
okay,
While some weeks are more intense, especially during legislative sessions, the workload varies significantly.
yeah, I don't really believe that. All right, so they're banking, they're making good money. What about their travel pay and stuff? Do they get travel pay? Do they get night differential? Do they get overtime? Like anything like that?
Senators don't receive travel pay, night differential, or overtime. They work as salaried federal employees year round, whether in DC or their home district. However, they do have allowances for official travel between their district and Washington, D.C.
So that's on top of their salary then.
Yes, senators receive travel allowances in addition to their salary. These allowances cover official office expenses, including travel between their district or state and Washington, D.C. The amount varies based on factors like distance from Washington.
What other benefits do they have?
Senators receive several benefits beyond their salary. These include comprehensive health insurance through the Federal Employees Health Benefits Program, retirement benefits under the Federal Employees Retirement System, and travel allowances for official trips. They also have office and staff allowances to maintain their Washington and home state offices.
So how much would in a dollar amount would it cost them out of their check for health insurance?
Senators pay about $10,000 annually for their health insurance. This is roughly 28% of the total premium cost, with the federal government covering the remaining 72%.
Now, with that, do they have to pay co-pays and stuff, or is that covered?
Senators do pay copays and deductibles like other insured individuals. While the government covers 72% of their premiums, they're responsible for the remaining 28% and any additional out of pocket costs.
So they're paying about $800 a month premiums for their health insurance.
Senators pay about $153 monthly for their health insurance
Oh.
premiums, not $800.
So I did the math wrong. So that's not bad at all, right? So they're banking it, and they don't work that hard.
Exactly. That's quite reasonable for comprehensive health coverage.
All right, thanks, Alexa. All right, she didn't respond. She usually responds. Who knows? She's probably mad at me because I was being mean to her. Anyway, so we were talking about compensation for their services to be ascertained by law and paid out of the Treasury of the United States. Ooh, how much? Okay, Alexa, I have a question. How much per year? So I think Alexa, the president makes about $400,000 a year, right? As president.
Yes, the president makes $400,000 a year.
So I want you to give me the total of all of the elected officials um, in Congress and in
The total annual compensation for all elected officials is approximately $11.5 million. This includes the president, vice president, 535 Congress members, and 9 Supreme Court justices.
the justices. How much do the justices make? How much does a justice make? I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. How much does a Supreme Court justice person make per year? Did I say that right? I don't know. She didn't answer me. Anyway, too much money. They're ripping us off. They're not earning their money. The senators and representatives, okay, they shall in all cases except treason, felony, and breach of the peace be privileged from arrest during their attendance at the session of their respective houses, and in going to and returning from the same, and for any speech or debate in either house, they shall not be questioned in any other place. I don't know what that means, but well, we got a felon. No senator or representative shall, during the time for which he was elected, be appointed to any civil office under the authority of the United States, which shall be created, or the emoluments whereof shall be increased during such time. And no person holding any office under the United States shall be a member of either house during his continuance in office. Yeah, so emoluments clause or whatever. So, but yeah, that went out the window. Section 7. All bills for raising revenue shall originate in the House of Representatives, but the Senate may propose or concur with amendments as on other bills. Every bill which shall have passed the House of Representatives and the Senate shall, before it becomes a law, be presented to the President of the United States. If he approve, he shall sign it, but if not, he shall return it, with his objections to that house in which it shall have originated, who shall enter the objections at large in their journal and proceed to reconsider it. If after such reconsideration 2/3 of that house shall agree to pass the bill, it shall be sent together with the objections to the other house, by which it shall likewise be reconsidered, and if approved by 2/3 of that house, it shall become a law. But in all such cases, the votes of both houses shall be determined by yeas and nays, and the names of the persons voting for and against the bill shall be entered on the journal of each house respectively. If any bill shall not be returned by the president within 10 days, Sundays excepted, after it shall be presented to him, the same shall be a law. In like manner as if he had signed it, unless the Congress, by their adjustments, prevent its return, in which case it shall not be a law. Um, I, I'm curious on, well, I can tell you that the felon has not read the Constitution. He did not read the Constitution. I can tell you that. Now, he might um, have it explained to him. So there's constitutional lawyers and staff that explain it to him why he can or cannot do something. But then he does it anyway. But he has not read the Constitution. And I don't know that many of the senators and Congress people have read it. I mean, again, they might have staff or interns who are constitutional learners, or that's their forte, that interpret things for him. But I don't know how anybody could read that. What I would like to do, are you okay, Cassie? Is I'm going to end it here because I'm getting bored, and I'm not understanding what I'm reading. But maybe what I could do is I can do a um, AI like Chat GBT. I can have um, maybe Chat GBT do a do an audio like analysis of it, um, because it's confusing to me, and now I understand why I never read it. I think I probably attempted to because I did have government classes and stuff, but whew, I and then this one I got. How long ago did I get this? Not too long ago, because it should be up to date. Because I don't think there have been any recent amendments, right? Visit minuteconstitution.com to get this free printable U.S. Constitution booklet. Take a minute to print it, build it, and spread it. Yeah, let's see. Oh, so let me see if I can find a current. I think this is a current version. I got this when I lived in Florida. So I don't think much has changed, but we'll see. Um, yeah, so that's it for you know for the Constitution reading today. I'll read a little bit of it at a time and try and get a grasp of it, but it's too wordy and it's too convoluted to how could anybody even understand it? How did all these people even put this together? It just sounds so, and why wasn't it kind of modernized more? Because it is Old English, and I don't know. Like, no wonder shit can't get done. That's all I gotta say. But I would like to learn it, and maybe I will take, because I'm a senior, I could certain classes I could take for free. I should check in university and see what constitutional classes, government classes I could take. But because I'm gonna head back to school here soon, I took too long of a break um, because of this move. So I'm interested to really get a comprehensive learning, understanding of the Constitution of the United States of America, because I don't even know. If anybody is listening, if anybody has, an understanding of it, I'd like to hear from you, because I don't know. It's pretty convoluted to me. And remember, people who wrote this, oh, here, Alexa, who wrote the Constitution of the United States?
The U.S. Constitution was written by delegates at the 1787 Philadelphia Convention. James Madison is widely considered the principal architect, while Gouverneur Morris is credited with much of the final wording.
That's it? So were those people slave owners?
James Madison was indeed a slave owner, inheriting and owning slaves throughout his life. By 1801, he enslaved over 100 people at his Montpelier plantation. Gouverneur Morris, however, was known for his anti-slavery stance and criticized slavery during the Constitutional Convention.
Good for him. So how many slaves did Thomas Jefferson own?
Thomas Jefferson enslaved more than 620 people during his adult life.
Sickening. So who signed the Constitution?
What's on your mind? That was
Now-
quite a heavy conversation about the founding fathers and slavery.
She is like something else. She scares me. Alexa, who signed off on the Constitution?
39 delegates signed the U.S. Constitution on September 17, 1787. George Washington signed first, followed by other delegates grouped by states from north to south.
Can you list them?
Here are the 39 delegates who signed the U.S. Constitution
Can you hear her?
on September 17, 1787. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, Gouverneur Morris, Robert Morris, James Wilson, Charles Cotesworth Pinckney, Charles Pinckney, John Rutledge, Pierce Butler, Roger Sherman, William Samuel Johnson, James McHenry, George Reed, Richard Bassett, Richard Dobbs Speight, William Blount, Daniel Carroll, Daniel of St. Thomas Jenifer, John Dickinson, Jonathan Dayton, William Patterson, Nathaniel Gorham, Rufus King, William Jackson, Nicholas Gilman, John Langdon, William Few, Abraham Baldwin, George Clymer, Thomas Fitzsimons, Jared Ingersoll, Thomas Mifflin, Pierce Butler, Hugh Williamson, William Richardson Davy, Oliver Ellsworth, and Caleb Strong.
And did any of them own slaves?
About 25 of the 55 delegates who attended the Constitutional Convention were enslavers. This included many of the 39 who signed the Constitution.
Did you say John Hancock? Didn't he sign the Constitution? Did he?
John Hancock did not sign the U.S.
What did he sign?
Constitution. He wasn't present at the Philadelphia Convention and instead played a key role in Massachusetts' ratification process in 1788.
So where did the saying "put your John Hancock"? Why did that come up? Because I know he signed something, and he signed it bigger than anybody else.
The phrase "put your John Hancock" comes from John Hancock's famously large signature on the
Right.
Declaration of Independence.
Oh, the Declaration of
His bold,
Independence.
stylish
Okay.
signature became synonymous with signing your name.
Okay. All right. All right. Well. All right. Thanks, Alexa. And I'm gonna check. I'm gonna verify that. Wow. So that's a lot.
The service is temporarily unavailable. Please try again in a few minutes.
What service? Your service? Alexa? What happened? What
I'm
happened?
working perfectly. Thank you very much. If something looks wrong, just let me know.
Oh my God. She doesn't like me. She's not my friend anymore. So, all right, I'll have to look into that.
How can I help?
No, you're fine. You're good. So,
Thanks. Have a great night.
YouTube gossip. So I was just watching Jolene Lunzer, and she was still reading from a case involving web sleuths. Old owner, now manager, because Othram's Laboratory owns Web Sleuths. It's a website. It's been around for decades. It's a forum of civilians, web sleuthing crimes. But anyway, so she found an old case where I guess one of Trisha Griffith, who was the owner of Web Sleuths, there was some kind of partnership with this woman, Susan. She grifted a lot of money from a lot of people, and so Jolene got her hands on a court case, I think from 2011, and it's just laying out all these people who have given, you know, Trisha money, and this whole court case. So there's a bunch of depositions, um, but so I was listening to the reading of that, but I wanted to get on here and talk a little bit before it got too late. I got my Weirdos Unite sweatshirt on because it's like freezing cold out there now. It's in the 30s, soon to be in the 20s. It should be in the 20s here soon. But yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so I was listening to that. Of course, I listened to some of the shenanigans and stuff of the idiot in DC. I didn't really watch too much of. Oh, I did listen to the Diary of a CEO, Stephen. I forget his last name. He had some sleep therapist on or doctor on talking about, how to sleep, the best sleep, all that stuff. But it was a little interesting because he's talking about supplements and, testing your sleep and all that. I went to a sleep clinic once. I was so uncomfortable and so like weirded out, and I didn't even sleep, but like maybe 45 minutes, and they're like, okay, you're fine. Yeah, how can you tell anything with that? I was like up all night, you know. So um, I do have, and actually, my eye doctor noted it that I may have sleep apnea. I mean, I don't wake up choking a lot, but I have. I know I do grind my teeth under high stress. I haven't because when I grind my teeth, I know I could feel the next day, and I haven't felt that in a long time. But there are times where I woke up and my throat is so dry, and my sinuses and ears hurt. So um, and so I might have some sleep apnea, but I think I'll be fine. Actually, I've been getting really good deep sleep, which is unusual for me, so I'm okay. But I was just curious about it. I should stop moving because if somebody if anybody watches, this is probably like, all right, vertigo. Um, but I guess it's just my ADHD. My ADHD, I have to fidget and move and do all the things. Like I said, my ADHD has been on fire, but it's okay. I like it when I'm in the hyper focus mode, because I'm moving and doing stuff, and um, that I'm really interested in, and I like that phase of it. So that's a little bit about my ADHD. I was talking to some friends tonight. Like female, typically, like back in the day with me growing up, there was no such thing as ADHD. Like nobody, there was no diagnosis at the time, and all I got all over my report cards was I was a daydreamer. I need to pay attention. I need to speak up. She has such potential. Zoning out. Like I was the daydreamer. Um, what else? Focusing. You okay, Cassie? Um, you know, Lack of focus, But again, inattentive. I wasn't bouncing off the wall, but fidgeting. I did fidget a lot, and it drove some of my teachers, and they were nasty about it. And then the nuns were even nastier about it with my fidgeting. Um, we learned as females to mask so well. The boys were allowed to bounce off the walls, like jump up and down off the desk and bounce off the walls, and they're just like, boys will be boys. But the girls couldn't do any such thing, so we just really controlled. But I still did my ADHD. I was just called, you know, lazy and all the names, all the things. Um, I always had the best of intentions when I got my no loose leaf binder for the beginning of the year, and I was not going to make it messy, and it was going to stay neat and everything. And within the week, it was a disaster. And I would write and doodle all over it because that was another way of fidgeting. I could do it like low key, and then papers. My binders were always a hot mess. They still are, just a hot mess. Um, so so yeah, it was so there was no Medicaid when it started coming out. I think it was like in the 80s, and then they started giving all these kids Ritalin and stuff. That's bad. Instead of trying to work with it, instead of making everybody compliant, like somebody mentioned that tonight, like, um, oh, I think it was Jolene, either yesterday or today. Like, I we try to fit into what, like, should be like this, like, who are we really? Am I being me, or am I trying to fit into the square of what society thinks I should be? So because they want to keep us in, you should be behaving this way, and you shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't do that. And ADHD, we can't help ourselves. We try, but it's just like not. So does that make us weird? Does that make us um, like not normal? No, I think it's normal. But they made us like we were not normal. They treated us as if we were weird. I was called weird a lot, and stupid, and lazy, and all kinds of names. Um, so they made us feel like that there was something wrong with us when there was nothing wrong with us. It's just our brains operated differently, and we were not compliant. Our brains refused to comply with making us, like, okay, here's an example, especially in Catholic schools. If you were left-handed, it was the sign of the devil. So they would force people who were left-handed to write right-handed, like literally beat them, they wrote with their right hand and not their left hand, which is such a horrible thing to do to a child. So comply and do it the right way, and whatever their right way was. So, um, yeah, so those of us with ADHD, um, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but I just could never, it would drive my mother insane and other adults insane. Why does she not listen? Why is she not listening? She's so thick headed, because I wanted to know, why couldn't I do ABC? Like, I would just do it. No, you can't do it that way. You shouldn't act that way. You shouldn't be that way. Why? Like, am I hurting anybody? But yeah, I took a lot of shit. And it and it what's the word I'm looking for? It suppressed my spirit, even though like it didn't totally diminish my spirit, but it didn't wipe out my spirit. It diminished my spirit of who I should have been. You know, it screwed me up. Like, and then my mother and father came from screwed up stuff, and their mothers and fathers came from screwed up stuff, and so on and so on. There's generational trauma in my family from enslavement, from genocide, from impoverishment, from abject poverty, from yeah, lots on both sides of my family spread out in that tree. That so, but we were all survivors, um, and the way we survived and dealt with it wasn't in the healthiest of ways, but we did. We figured out how to just survive. How to survive, um, the best that we could, and but and um, many of us turned the serviture around to service for the community. But anyway, I'm drifting. Cassie needs to go OUT because she's letting me know it's time. It's time. So we're gonna say goodnight. We're gonna say goodnight, and then next time we come on, we're gonna read a little bit more of the Constitution, and maybe I'll get Chat GBT to read it and and help interpret it because I'm lost. And I only read how many pages? I don't even know where I put it. Oh, there it is. Uh, page 8. That, and I'm confused. Just saying. All right, Cass, I'll be done in 1 second. All right, so good night. Thanks for showing up. And I will see you next time. And have a good night. And if you're up north, stay warm because it's cold out there. Bye.